Okay, so I think we started on YouTube. So I see more or less everyone has joined. So if everyone can, put your cameras on now, put a thumbs up in the comment section to let me know how you guys are doing, how you're finding the challenge so far, or the meditation. Has there been any like awesome experiences or changes you have noticed um, within, okay, so only one person so far has had a positive impact, unfortunately. Okay, there we go, Rani and more. So, before we begin today's session, I'll just like to introduce myself for all of you who do not know me. My name is Yastil Mohanji Acharya. I'm from South Africa. And yeah, I've been with Mohanji for I think almost 8 or 9 years now. So yeah, it's been quite a while. And I always love when we do challenges like these because I see the transformation that happens with people after 41 days. Monji always says, when you're trying to build practice and discipline, 41 days is a key number in trying to do something. So if you're ever trying to build, any discipline or trying to, ground yourself in any practice, try to aim for 41 days, whether it's Kriya, what we're doing today, the love beyond dimensions, we always do the power of purity, you know, being in these type of challenges, especially with groups, right? It makes it so, so, so powerful and beautiful. And I see the physical changes in people, right? On their face, the way they start talking or they express themselves, they get like this glow around them. So challenges like these are super, super beneficial. As some people have said in the comments, group energy. And I think that's the main thing. I think when like-minded people come together with a certain goal and a certain ambition to achieve something, I think great success happens. And I think it's all about, just turning up and, saying you're going to do it. That's all it takes. So yeah, I think I'll just share like a minute of myself, like what I'm involved in for all those who do not know me, and then we can uh, get towards program. Yes. So yeah, I can see in the comments, Sneha said she feels getting closer to Monji, and that's the goal, right? Getting closer to Monji, getting closer to the divine, or getting closer to yourself, right? I think from my experience, what I've learned over the few years is that we're all chasing like like to get closer to Monji, you have to get closer to yourself. I think when you know yourself truly, you will know Monji is, as he says, he's just a reflection, right, of where we need to go, and he's just a guide, right, to get us back to ourselves. So 100%, I think getting closer to Monji is a very good thing, and it's definitely getting you closer to yourself. So that's awesome, awesome, awesome. So I think I'll just share like a minute on who I am. I'll try to wrap up or try to put everything in to explain so all of you don't know. So as I said, I'm from South Africa. I think I was part of the first Monji Acharya training. I think it was October 2018 or somewhere around there. I'm also a yoga instructor at the Himalayan School of Traditional Yoga. I think most people know me from all the social media work that I do with the foundation, whether it's conscious dancing, Maitri, ACT Foundation, or basically anything. I think for most countries, I think I've worked with, which is awesome. So I've got to work with probably most people. I think I'm not too sure if everyone here, but a lot of people from whether it's Monji UK, Canada. I know I've done some work with Australia and Spain recently, and now I'm recently helping Devi with some of her stuff for our Act 20 years. So I've basically touched bases with most part of the foundation. So, that's just me in a nutshell. I think one of the key things I realized a few years ago when I was speaking to Monji is like, he always tells us, share what we have in abundance. And I remember him telling me, actually made me record himself. I think I was at his home in Bangalore in 2019. And he's like, I just need to make myself available. And I think that's something I've seen a tremendous growth in myself, just being available for anything or any task. And I think if we can apply stuff like that to small things, right? I think we can see massive, massive change. So yeah, I think that's just me. I can't even say in a nutshell because I think I'll end up talking for too long on unnecessary things. But I think we can get into the program, and then we could have a little talk at the end um, about this 41 days or what people are experiencing. And yeah, we can take it from there. So if everyone can sit up straight with their spine erect, keeping your eyes closed, taking a deep breath in and out. Another deep breath in and out. For a few moments, just remain in the silence. Become aware of your thoughts, emotions, and just simply watch them drift away. We'll begin chanting Mohanji's Gayatri Mantra three times, followed by 5-stage breathing, and then dive into the meditation. So taking a deep breath in and out. We'll begin chanting Mohanji Gayatri. Deep breath in. Om Hara Brahmane Vidmaya Shiva Tatvaya Dhimai Tanno Mohana Prachodayat. Om Hara Brahmane Vidmaya Shiva Tatvaya Dhimai Tanno Mohana Prachodayat. Om Para Brahmane Vidmaya Shiva Tatvaya Dhimai Tanno Mohana Prachodayat. Taking a deep breath in and out. Another deep breath in and out. We'll begin with the 5-stage breathing. I'll count on the count of 1 to 3, and you will inhale, and the count of 1, 2, you will exhale. For those who have, high blood pressure or hypertension or anything, you can either, go at your own pace or just, inhale and exhale gently. Deep breath in and out. We'll begin with the 5-speed breathing. Breathe in, 1, 2, 3, and out, 1, 2. In, 1, 2, 3, and breathe out, 1, 2. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. You now inhale and exhale a little bit faster. Breathe in, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. A little bit faster. Breathe in, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. A little bit faster. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. And finally, the fastest with 5-speed breathing. Breathe in 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. And slow it down. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. Slightly slower. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. Keeping your eyes closed, taking a deep breath in and out. We'll begin with the meditation.
We can't hear.
No sound, no sound.
Sorry, I think I'll just reshare.
Sit with your spine straight, eyes closed, hands on knees or thighs. Relax your body. Observe your breath. Feel your inhalation and your exhalation. As you breathe in, feel the prana, the life force, entering your body and reaching each and every cell of your body. Feel your entire body and relax. Feel your toes, your feet, your ankles. Relax them. Feel your calf muscles, your knees, your thighs. Relax them. Feel your hips, your lower back, your lower abdomen. Relax them. Feel your middle back, your abdomen, your upper back, your ribs and your chest. Relax them. Feel your entire spine. Feel your shoulder blades, your shoulder joints and your neck. Relax them. Feel your upper arms, your elbows, lower arms, wrists, palms, the back of your palms and your fingers. Relax them. Feel your chin, your jaws, your mouth, your tongue and your lips, and relax them. Feel your cheeks, your nose, your eyes and your eyebrows, and your ears, and relax them. Feel your forehead, the top of your head. Feel your entire face and relax your whole facial area. Observe your breath again. Just be aware of the flow of prana. Now inhale deeply while expanding the abdomen like a balloon, filling your breath and the prana deeply. Exhale slowly while contracting your abdomen. Do not rush. Keep breathing slowly and deeply throughout this meditation. Now chant along with the Mohanji Gayatri mantra slowly, or just listen to it. Feel the vibrations. Om Para Brahmane Vidmahe Shiva Tattvaya Dhimahi Tanno Mohana Prachodayat. Om Parabrahmane Vidmahe Shiva Tattvaya Dhimahi Tanno Mohana Prachodayat. Om Parabrahmane Vidmahe Shiva Tattvaya Dhimahi Tanno Mohana Prachodayat. Feel the vibrations of this mantra. Feel that you are connecting to Mohanji's consciousness. Now, bring your attention to your heart center. Visualize or feel your heart center as a beautiful, serene place, filled with bright, colorful, warm sunshine, with a soothing breeze, sweet fragrance, and calming sound of flowing water all around. Birds chirping, beautiful animals grazing happily. You can see a flowing river with crystal clear blue water. On the bank of it, you see a huge Audumber fig tree. Beneath it is a huge stone with a flat platform. You can now visualize Mohanji sitting on this stone platform with his right leg bent over the left knee, his hands raised in a blessing position, a heart-melting smile on his face, and the warmth of love in his eyes. You are seeing Mohanji just as you are meeting him physically, right in front of you. He is looking at you with compassion, so full of love. You look at his feet. They look so soft, so beautiful. You look at his hands, raised to bless you. You feel the flow of energy coming out of his palms to you. You bow down in front of him, touching your forehead, the third eye, to the big toe of his left foot. There is an instant feeling of powerful energy entering you. Raise your head after some time and look at his face. Bring your hands to your chest and join the palms together. Looking straight into Mohanji's eyes, you are opening up completely. No boundaries, no separation. Without speaking a single word, your expression, your love and devotion are reaching him. You feel his hand on your head, the ultimate assurance of blessing and grace. Close your eyes to observe this love, the energy that is flowing from Mohanji to you. At this moment, you rise beyond your physical sensations, memories, and thoughts. Just feel your oneness with the consciousness that you recognize as Mohanji in this physical form. You feel yourself in a dimension where you realize your eternal oneness with Mohanji. Mohanji is not separate from you. Mohanji is not outside of you. Mohanji is not this physical body. In this state of oneness, you realize your connection through many different forms, in many different yugas or eras. If any visions are flowing at this point, just witness them. Maybe scenes of being around Mohanji in Vrindavan or Mathura, or with him in Ayodhya or in the Chitrakoot forests, or on the shores of Lanka, or among the snow-capped mountain of Kailash. Just witness any vision that comes up in whatever form. Maybe you get visions of masters like Jesus, Mahavtar Babaji, Sai Baba, or any other deity. Just feel the eternal connection with pure consciousness that's always been there. Witness this. Feel this. Simply witness. even if there are no visions coming up, and even if you feel that there are never was any connection, still know that the ultimate connection is within the eternal oneness of consciousness. There is a purpose to you being connected with Mohanji in this life. Whether you have been connected to Mohanji for many years, or if you have only just discovered him, in whatever way you are presently connected to Mohanji, know that the truth of your connection is timeless, formless, and beyond all dimensions. Mohanji and you are one. Feel Mohanji as yourself. Feel Mohanji as the purest form of love. Feel Mohanji also in the impure, contaminated air. Also feel Mohanji in the beings with pains. Feel Mohanji in the eternal beauty. Also feel him in the heights of ugliness. Mohanji is everywhere. Mohanji is in everyone. Mohanji is in the light and in the darkness too. Mohanji does not discriminate. Mohanji does not choose. As you are feeling Mohanji and realizing the truth of your connection with him, feel how light you feel, almost levitating. You are breathing slowly and deeply, but you don't feel your breath or body. You realize that you are touching and being with Mohanji in a different dimension, where there is no duality, where there is no pain or suffering, no selfishness, no possessiveness, no fear, no insecurity, no guilt, no regret. You now have the constant experience of Mohanji's energy flowing through you as his hand is still on top of your head. Like Mother Yashoda saw the entire universe in the opened mouth of little Krishna. Like Arjuna saw Krishna as the universal appearance of existence, the Vishwaroop. You are seeing Mohanji in this state of expansion. You are experiencing what you cannot see with your open eyes. You are recognizing what no words can explain. You are seeing the truth called Mohanji. That truth is you. The truth is oneness. The truth is love. You are now looking at Mohanji's face again. His eyes with so much compassion and love for you. Your eyes are sparkling with a vision of the truth that you just saw. Mohanji is smiling lovingly at you. Your tears are flowing, but you are smiling too. You have the recognition now. You bow down once again at Mohanji's feet with deep gratitude for showing you the truth. You rise up and hug Mohanji, feeling his heartbeat, feeling his breath, feeling his fragrance. You know that you have reached home. You have arrived. In this state, you are complete. You are free. You are complete. You are free. Stay there in that ultimate state. Maintain that love, complete surrender, total emptiness. in the realization of this connection with Mohanji, realizing the ultimate protection that you have on all levels, make this affirmation and say it out loud. Being deeply connected to Mohanji, I am fully covered in divine, bright white light, inside and outside. Only the energies that are positive and benevolent may stay with me. All the other energies are reflected back to their original sources. Slowly bring your attention back to your breath. Deep inhalation and slow exhalation. Bring your attention to your body. Feel your fingers and toes. Move them slowly. Bring your hands to your chest and join the palms together. Express your love and gratitude to Mohanji for the experience during this meditation. You can chant along with this mantra or listen to it and feel the feeling of every word and the deep devotion that you have. Tvameva mata cha pita tvameva Tvameva bandhuscha sakha tvameva Tvameva vidya dravinam tvameva Tvameva sarvam mama deva deva. You are my mother and my father. You are my family and my friend. You are my knowledge and my wealth. You, Mohanji, are my supreme divine. Now, repeat to yourself the following affirmation, especially given by Mohanji. I will always help the helpless beings around me especially the children and the old people. I will always be as loving as Mohanji towards everyone. I will respect all beings and never hurt or harm anyone. I will share whatever I have in abundance with all those who don't have or who have little. I will live a life of compassion, kindness, and pure love. Now rub your palms together. Feel the warm energy. Place your palms on your eyes and give this warmth to your eyes. Move your palms over your face, your head, and over your entire body and give this warm energy. When you are ready, gently open your eyes with a beautiful smile. Jai Mohanji.
When you're ready, you can open your eyes. How is everyone feeling? Does anyone have any questions or would like to share any experiences that they have been, feeling or going through over this? I think what we 2 weeks in, right? Yeah, somewhere around. I think today's day 15, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah. Does anyone have any questions or any experiences they'd like to share? Okay, so I take it everyone is either zoned out or in deep thought and contemplation, which is good. I was speaking earlier about, the power of doing 41-day challenges and why it's, it's so impactful for us, for developing discipline, developing a practice. And more importantly, I like to touch on is willpower. I like to ask, how many of you were told, growing up, we need to learn how to concentrate, right? Or we need to even even concentrate during this, this program or this 41 days, for example, right? Especially during meditation, right? They always tell us you must concentrate for meditation. And probably all of us, right? But how do we concentrate is the important question. I like to say, one way of learning how to, concentrate is building willpower. And, like I said, programs like these or 41-day challenges, the main purpose is building a willpower, not just to complete the challenge, but carrying that energy forward to helping you complete whatever task you have. it's basically the ability to get things done, and I would like to say, I think there's basically like three elements, that is essential, willpower, discipline, and love. I think, a lot of people, or a lot of us want to create discipline, in our life, so that we, so that we can start, and then, whenever we try to create willpower, discipline, at the beginning, it's super awesome because we're in a group of people for 41 days, everything is, going well. But it's about what happens afterwards, right? It gets a bit tough later on, or we start to struggle and then we stop. And I feel that, the driving factor behind discipline is love. And why I say this is because when you love something you do and you're passionate about it, then you want to discipline your life, or you want to be more disciplined in your life so that you can have more of what that love is, right? There are three ways to develop willpower. I think one of them is, or first I should say, is, basically finishing what we begin. Second one is, do a little bit more than you think you can do, and do a little bit better than you think you can do, I think, as number three. And I think all these three, require effort and to develop willpower. It's very easy to start a project, but it's quite difficult to finish one, especially when you're doing things like this, whether it's Kriya or something, I think, dealing with personal growth, especially when you're trying to push yourself, to go beyond your boundaries and stuff. Like I said, like joining today, being part of groups definitely helped that. So let's look at it as in a practical way, right? To bring willpower into our life is to look at, our average day and ask yourself, what are the mundane things that we do? What are the repetitive things that we do every day? And the way I phrase it is, what I want are the non-negotiable events in our life. For some, it may be Kriya. For me, I made that a practice early on. I said, this will be my non-negotiable, like, no matter what happens, even if it's like 25 past, or 11:30 at night, I will get my Kriya in before midnight. Every day I go to sleep, and it's a non-negotiable recurring event that in the night, and hopefully I wake up right? That, so we need to, I think, set boundaries for ourselves, whether it's sadhana or whether it's anything you're trying to accomplish, that are the non-negotiable things that you have to do for the day. Right? So how do I finish the process of sleep, right? When I wake up in the morning, I make my bed, in the morning, I finish the process of sleep, right? When you wake up, if you make your bed, you're not gonna like go back to sleep, right? So it takes effort to make the bed, right? So let's say when I wake up in the morning, I have my breakfast and I watch TV and, all the way till midnight, and I'm tired, then I go to bed. And let's say I do this for 7 days straight, right? So just waking up, watching TV and going to bed, and sleeping, repeating, right? All of a sudden, when I tried to, make the 8-day difference, it's extremely difficult because, a lot of us practice a law of, or just call it the law of practice, right? We practice repetition. So we get used to things. So we don't realize when you look at discipline or habits, there's no such thing as bad or good for discipline or habit, right? If you're doing something bad all the time or you're doing something good all the time, it'll automatically become a practice for you. So you'll automatically be in that practice of doing something bad. So that's why I say, like practicing stuff like Love Beyond Dimensions or Kriya or whatever it is for 41 days. If we can do that straight, then that'll become a habit for us. That practice will become a non-negotiable, I should say. So if we spend more time doing positive things for ourselves, whether it is to have, whether we have anger issues, so we spend more time doing, breathing processes or calming processes, like meditation, yoga, or whether it is you have health issues, so you spend more time, in the gym, exercising, dieting, whatever it is, the more time you are spending doing something positive for yourself, eventually we'll become good at that positive thing, right? So practicing these things, or shall I say, call it conscious living, brings stability and purpose to our life. Now, when we take, the stability or willpower that we have gained from, focusing intensely, and, we apply it to a purposeful life, right? So by spending time with ourselves away from, the distractions of the world, we find meaning in doing things that bring joy, to our life. So think about it like this, right? I always use this analogy. It's like looking through a telescope, at the night sky, right? So if, when you go out at night, we can see all the stars in the sky, right? So, the universe is like our mind, right? And every star in the universe represents a different aspect of our mind, I should say. So, from love, anger, jealousy, hatred, happiness, joy. So our mind is vast, right? The universe is vast, and we have these little stars. So I always should tell people, just think about it like our awareness is like this telescope, right? So the telescope represents our awareness. So as we are focusing our telescope, of awareness out into the universe of our mind, then we all of a sudden we see shooting stars called distractions, I like to say, flying across like so like comets, whatever you call it, right? So these shooting stars of our distractions that we see in our mind, like we like driving, or we see like a billboard, like ice cream or something. If you're trying to it's like trying to diet, then you're like, yeah, I'm craving ice cream. Or you're scrolling on your phone on Instagram or YouTube, then you see something and then you get caught up in that. And every time this happens, we need to bring our telescope of awareness back onto our star of purpose, right? Back onto our North Star. That is, take us back, to ourselves. As someone mentioned in the comments earlier, right? They said by doing this love beyond dimensions, that we've been coming closer to Mohanji. So, that's our North Star, right? So whenever we see these shooting stars, just, think of bringing your telescope back to your North Star, right? So the more we practice this, the better we become at focusing and concentrating on our life purpose and what brings us happiness to ourselves, right? This practice of concentration is very important, and it allows us to master our being, right? And yes, sometimes, like I said, there'll be those distractions like movies or going out, or missing our kriya or meditation, whatever practice you do. But we need to look at them and enjoy them, but remember to always go back to our telescope of awareness on our non-negotiables, right? On ourselves, right? And sometimes we might be too distracted by these comets or shooting stars that we maybe take a little longer, maybe a day or a week or month, right? But the amazing thing about life is we always have another chance to try again. Every day is a new day to wake up and start over. And how do we fight against this inertia, building willpower? Or how do you build willpower? By simply getting things done, right? And I'm not talking about major things, I'm talking about small things, from waking up in the morning. So finishing what you begin requires willpower, right? So every time you finish what you begin throughout the day, you are developing willpower. Why develop willpower? You develop willpower so you can control where your awareness goes in your mind, right? Yeah, like it's like chanting, right? It's not how much you chant, it's the quality of your chanting. So we develop this willpower to always bring us back to what we're trying to focus on, this awareness. And I develop willpower to control where my awareness goes, right? And I control where my awareness goes is going to control where my energy is flowing. So by controlling these things, I can control where my energy is flowing. And if I can control where my energy is flowing, then I can control what is manifesting in my life. And this is why it's so important to develop willpower, because by controlling this, we can basically control ourselves to, follow, the path to get back to ourselves. As Mohanji says, right, he's just a map, a roadmap, right, to get back to ourselves. So I think by developing willpower, by doing, these types of challenges or setting yourself goals, you become more aware of what you need to do and what you don't need to do. And you can basically start focusing your life energies on the things that matter to you in life. So I think, it's extremely important to do this. So I think there's one question I initiated in Kriya. If yes, can you please share your Kriya experience? I'm curious to know. So yeah, I'll share my Kriya experience quickly. So I had various experiences in Kriya. In fact, the first practice that I've ever done in terms of anything spiritual was a Kriya. This is when I first started off. So this was, I think, before I met Mohanji. So the first time I ever heard of anything spiritual in my life was a Kriya. Basically, I was going through stuff like years ago, and then I met this random guy who just happens to like know me, like we never met before. And like he just said, it's not a coincidence, I met him, and like a whole lot of stuff. But long story short, he said he would teach me things to, help me, cope with these things. And I'm like, what this guy's talking about? Like, he's just a random guy. How does he know so much about me? He's like stalking me or something. But because I've always been a curious person, I was just like, took him at his word. So I never knew anything. I never meditated, I never chanted, I never did anything spiritual. So the first practice I ever did was Kriya. And I think that had probably the most significant impact on my life. had an amazing experience. I won't like to use the word samadhi, but entered a certain state where I realized that the world's a bigger place than what it is. And I realized that how insignificant I am. And, all these things that I hold, dear to me, or what I believe is, true, was basically false. And I realized I was holding so much of unnecessary baggage. And just basically, it basically it's like looking at the universe. It's like you just start zooming out, and then you realize like, oh my god, it just gets bigger and bigger and bigger. And there's so much more stuff we don't know about the world and ourselves. So I think that was my first experience with it. So obviously it changed me completely, right? Because I realized, there's so much more things to life, and there's so much more things to myself. And it also showed me that I did not know myself. And I think from practicing Kriya regularly over like 7-8 years, I think it's been, I've been doing Kriya since before I met Mohanji, and now obviously I'm doing Mohanji's Kriya. I think the most tangible experiences I would say is, I think how I behave or carry myself. One of the biggest attractions people get, especially, like a lot of people tell me, oh, Yastil, I was doing Kriya. Oh, I saw a deity, I saw Vishnu, I saw Shiva, all these things. And why I say it's distractions, because it's making us get caught up in this experience that we experience, which is a good thing, right? Which is a good thing. But the problem is we caught up in reliving these experiences in our head. So that's why I always tell people, like, whatever they experience in Kriya, just appreciate it for what it is and move on. Because, the whole point of life is moving forward. So even though it's a beautiful experience, it's a powerful experience, whatever you're experiencing, at the end of the day, it's just an experience that you needed to experience for a particular reason to push you forward. So I realized that, like, early on that, experiences are important, but it's not the goal of it. So I would say, I think for me, in terms of my Kriya experience, the one, it brought discipline in my life. I made it a non-negotiable, and I realized I started not reacting, but started looking at life, like Mohanji says, as a movie. I think it definitely helped me to control my emotions better and, gain willpower and focus. And I think those are the things that matter, right? Everyone has these things. Oh, if I do Kriya, and meditate so many hours, get all these CDs, I can see the future, I can see all these things, I can read blindfolded. But the true gifts, or the true CDs, or the true power is being able to be stable in any environment, right? Being able to love yourself. These are the true gifts that Kriya gives you. And you could see it, right? I think if you see anyone who's doing Kriya, you can see it in the way they carry themselves, or the energy, or how you feel around them. You can see it, they love themselves. So I think that'll be my biggest thing I will share with Kriya. It helped me realize, as human beings, we have immense potential, and it's just a matter of tapping into that and, going deeper and deeper in it. So I think that'll be, how I would say how Kriya has helped me and my experiences with it. Does anyone else have any other questions or any experiences they'd like to share? If not, we can go ahead and end the session. Okay, I think we're good then. Let me just. Yeah, so I think I can end the session. I think everyone seems good. Big congratulations to all of you who have been up to the challenge for 15 days. So we're like just over 1/3 there. And just stay at it. I think, like I said, it takes the human brain 41 days to build a habit. So this is a very positive habit we are building. So I wish you all the success on your path, or whatever you're trying to fulfill. And lots of love, and Jay Mohanji, and I guess we'll see you guys tomorrow.
Jai Mohanji, thank you very much.
Thank you, Dhanlakshmi.
Thank you very much, Jai Mohanji.
Jay Mohanji, thank you.